Day 1, April 1st. This is our first instructional video. This is for Math 8. We are going to begin working with equations, reviewing the equations topics, reviewing the equations test, and then probably taking the test by, Friday, Saturday, Friday or Monday. Friday this week, Monday next week. If you've gone online, you've seen that I have attached onto your Google Classroom a PDF version of the test. You should be able to open it up. You should be able to look at it. If you print it out, great. If you can't print it out and you want it printed out, there are copies at the middle school. You just have to call and say, hey, I'm coming over to pick it up. Okay? No big deal. If you don't want to print it out, work the problems out on a separate sheet of paper, take a picture, send it to me in an email. Write out what you did on an email and send it to me in Google Classrooms. Write it to me in Google Classrooms as a question. You can do all these things. You've worked on it before. The math part of it is going to be tough to put into the computer. It may be easier just to write it down on a piece of paper, take a picture, send it to me, and I can critique, look at it, and find the help there. You can write your questions on Google Classrooms or an email, and I can get your answers there. But that's the extent of what we're going to be doing. Today, we're going to go through page 1 of the test. Not so much the problems on page 1, types of the problems. Your homework are going to be the 4 problems on page 1, the level 2 questions, basic two-step equations, the distributive property, proportional equations, maybe even a little perimeter and application in that respect. But they're just the level 2s. It should be a pretty easy day, pretty easy assignment. Okay? I'm going to do some examples for you. You try the problems, the 4 problems, and then tomorrow, if you get them done, send me an email, write them out to me. Say, hey, this is what I did. See if you did it right. Check my work, check this. Good, I will. If you want to wait, assignments aren't collected until Friday. They aren't graded until Friday of every week. If you want to wait until Friday and send it all in then, that doesn't bother me either. I don't care when you send it in, as long as you get it in and get your credit and get the help for you for when you do get the test. Now, this first one that we're going to do, simple two-step equation. 3x minus 7 equals 11. 3x minus 7 equals 11. It's my smart board. All right. 3x minus 7 equals 11. Some of you put that little line down the equal sign to separate it. Some of you will box the variable and the coefficient because that's the last thing you work with. This should be a no-brainer, okay? This goes last. You get rid of the minus 7 first. What's the opposite of minus 7? It's plus 7. So you add 7 to both sides, bring down the 3x, okay? Add the 7 to both sides, bring down the 3x. It's 3x equals 18. Simple one-step division problem now. Divide both sides by 3. It works out nice and neat and pretty. Your answer ends up being 6. Yippity skippity. 6. This should not have been too tough. Okay? Take the 6 to test to see if you did it right. Put it in for x. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 minus 7, 11. Yay, I got it right. All right? That, no brainer. It's like number 1 on your equations test. That's your review. That should be an easy one to start out with. Nice, easy one. Okay? Now, we're going to get a little uglier. We've got a distribution problem, parentheses, okay? A parentheses problem. 3 times the quantity of 3 minus x plus 1 is equal to 31, okay? Try to write that out on your own. Pause the video and write this out on your own without me showing it to you. 3 times the quantity of 3 minus x plus 1 equals 31. All right, turn it back on. This is what it should look like. 3 times the quantity of 3 minus x plus 1 is equal to 31. Now, the simplest way to do this one is to get rid of those parentheses. That means you've got to distribute the 3 throughout the parentheses. Everything inside the parentheses gets multiplied by the 3. So if you distribute the 3 throughout the parentheses, 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times negative x is a negative 3x. Okay? Distributing the 3 throughout the parentheses gets rid of the parentheses, simplifies it, turns it into 9 minus 3x. Bring down the plus 1, Bring down the equals 31. Okay, so now it's a sort of a two-step equation. You've got a positive 9 and a positive 1. Combine those two. Ooh, that's tough to write backwards and upside down. Okay, in the reflection. Combine the 9 and the 1. 9 plus 1. Slow down. It makes 10. Bring down the negative 3x. Don't forget the negative sign. Plus 10 is equal to 31. You've now taken this huge, ugly, multi-step ugliness up at the top, gotten rid of the parentheses, combined like terms, made it a two-step equation. And from here, I'm hoping some of you are able to look at that and go, oh, I already know the answer. That's not too bad. Okay? Subtract the 10. Negative 3x is equal to 21. Now from here, some of you, most of you, should be able to look at it and know, oh, I know what x is. X is simple. That's just negative 7. Okay? Divided by negative 3, and x does equal negative 7. Okay? All that beautiful work that I have written out, all equals negative 7. How do I know that I did it right? Take the negative 7, put it in for the x. 3 minus a negative 7. Double negative turns into a positive. 3 plus 7 is 10. 3 times 10 is 30. 30 plus 1, yay! 31. Did it right. Okay? Now, proportional problems. A proportional problem is just ratios. It's just fractions. Okay? Simple. Okay? The one that's on your test, disgustingly easy. Let me just give you an example. 4x over 9 is equal to 4 over 3. Write that out on your own. Stop the video. You wrote it out? Good. This is what it should look like. 4x over 9 is equal to 4 over 3. This is called a proportional ratio equation because proportions are equal ratios. Equal ratios make a proportion. These are ratios. They're equal to each other. It's a proportion. How do I solve those? Cross multiplication. Okay? Cross multiplication. Multiply the 4x times the 3. 4x times 3. 4x times 3 is 12x. Bring down the equal sign. 9 times 4. 9 times 4 is 36. Yay! Easy. 12x equals 32. Or 6. Divide by 12, and x should equal 3. X is equal to 3. And this makes a proportional ratio. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 ninths is reduced to 4 thirds. 12 to 9 is equal to 4 to 3. Okay, 1 1/3. They're both 1 1/3. Not too bad. That's very similar to the one that you've got on your test. And I think it's number 2 or 3 on your test. Okay, so far so good. If you have any questions, just don't be afraid. Send me an email. Some of you have been very good about sending emails. Excellent with that. Last problem, perimeter problem. It's about a hexagon, a 6-sided figure. Okay, the hexagon should look something like this. Okay, here's the 6-sided figure. The notches, I'll explain to you in a second. It tells us that the long side is 2x plus 1, and the short side is just plain x. Okay, if they tell us that this is 2x plus 1, the double notches symbolize that these two lines are supposed to be, my drawing's cruddy, they're supposed to be the same length. So if this is 2x plus 1, what's that? 2x plus 1. Yes. Okay? If this is x, that means all of these sides are x. Every one of them. X. Good. You now have all the sides of your hexagon labeled. You're supposed to find the perimeter. What is the perimeter? Correct. The perimeter is the distance around the object. Add all the sides. Oh, there's variables. I don't know how to add them. Yeah, you do. 1x, 2x's, 3 4x's, 5x's, 6x's, 7 8x's. There are 8 x's and 2 from my 1's. 8x plus 2. There we go. There's our perimeter, 8x plus 2. Now, in the problem, they'll do one of two things. They'll either say, find the value of x, or find the value of each side of the figure that you're working with. Just depends. We'll do both, okay? But there's one key thing that I haven't told you. What is the perimeter of this object? Well, we know this is algebraically the perimeter. 8 times x plus 2 equals the perimeter of this figure. Well, it tells us in the problem that the perimeter is 162. So I have to take 8x plus 2 is equal to 162. Ooh, that's loud. 8x plus 2 is equal to the perimeter, 162. That's all you have to do, is set the perimeter equal to what they tell you the perimeter is. Now, this equation is just a simple two-stepper. Subtract the 2, it makes 160. Divide by 8, x equals 20. X is 20. That's good. That means this is 20. That's 20. That's 20. And that's 20. This is 2 times 20, which is 40 plus 1. 41. Oh, same thing down here. 2 times 20 plus 1. So 41, 82, 102, 122, 142, 162. So smart. So good. That's way tougher than the problem that you've got on your page, okay? The problem that you've got on your page is much more easy than that one right there. Alrighty. Now, that's the end of this video for Math 8. You guys now have those 4 problems on the worksheet, on the test that I gave you. Those 4 problems are what you're going to do tonight for homework. This video took 11 minutes. That means you've got 19 minutes to do those 4 problems. Actually, it's going to be 12 minutes. So you get 18 minutes to do those problems. Good luck. Talk to you tomorrow.